Previously on Ballz.
Someone else who's no longer there, a completely different topic, is Jacques Faul. He's resigned.
He's been waiting for us for about an hour.
He's cool.
That's all right, yeah, good guy.
All these ideas we gave him, what happens to them now? Every
can't-
time we spoke to him, we've given him some really cool ideas for cricket. No, he doesn't care.
Hello, Jacques.
Hey, Jacques.
Hello,
Hi.
Jacques.
Darren, John, Simon, Kanox, the Ballz radio team. Nice to chat to you again.
Thanks, yeah, nice to chat to you as well.
Yeah, so retirement years, or are you not getting busy with other things that pay your salary?
Yeah, no, so unfortunately I'm not the Pope, so I'm in that position. So I'm starting tomorrow at the Titans, and looking forward to it. It's a different challenge, but I think it's more the level that I can contribute on as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm just where you're going though. You're going to a really good union. I mean, it's one of the best unions in the country, well run. Some good people that work there. So I think it's a nice job to walk into.
I think Elise Lombard's got to take the late Elise Lombard's got to take a lot of credit for it. She was there for a very long time. There's a lot of stability, and like any other sporting federation, they would have certain challenges, and mostly financially. Sport and finance is not always an easy marriage, but I think they seem to focus better than most, and seem to keep the fighting under wraps at least.
Yeah. Well, let's look back, and I mean, from a Cricket South Africa point of view, look, we can't complain. It's absolute beautiful land of milk and honey as far as our team goes, and they always say your team's playing well. It means that everything that goes, from there upwards is all running smoothly. So, I mean, your decision not to continue or try and pursue extending your time with Cricket South Africa?
I think I was always in it just for helping them out in acting capacity. I was never looking forward to doing it. The advantage of acting for a year, you get a sense of this if this is actually what you want to do. And there's a lot of international traveling. I've still got a young family. I've also got a young wife which I've got to try and hang on to. So it's more or less a personal decision rather to go back to the franchises where there's less traveling, less international obligations. So maybe one day, but at this stage I'm happy to go back to franchise cricket.
And you're happy that you're leaving the CSA in a much healthier situation and position than when you took over there?
I think one of the biggest changes and one of the successes was definitely the commercial partners that came back on board again. But it's I think it's a bit unfair just to take all the credit for myself. I think we've employed a very good commercial manager in Mark Jury that's helped a lot. Obviously, the team has played well, but there again, I think my duty was to shield them from all the politics and things going on. I think you shouldn't manage team selection or even the team operations. You must look after the logistics of it and make sure there's smooth running. So there again, I think Gary and his support team have done a tremendous job. But I'll always write on my CV that the year I was the CEO, we were number 3 in all 3 formats. So I'm definitely playing that anyway.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I think my contribution would be just to shield them away from all the other dilemmas. There's good people in cricket. The sad thing is almost when they report on cricket and the governing council and all those shenanigans, they paint everybody in cricket with the same brush. We have amazing, passionate people in cricket. That's why we're number 1. You've got people like Yogi, Anton Ferreri. You're scared to talk to him about cricket, but he never stops. You just keep going. The passion is unbelievable. Corey van Zyl, Niels Momberg, I can go down the list, Max Jordan. They're incredibly passionate people about cricket in South Africa.
Yeah, and isn't that the message that we should take out of all of this? Is that in every sport, we were chatting to James a little earlier on, James Evans, about the problems going on in Athletics South Africa, and You know, I mean, he's a guy that's had a passion for athletics, but then at the same time, people like Henrik Romala and those people are also very passionate about the athletics as well. So it's sad to see when you get this huge chasm between these two groups, and there's a 50-50 split, and the one side's trying to impeach the other side, and in the meantime, this is all going out in the media, and sponsors are running, and there's financial woes, and it just gives a bad light on one of our top sports. So effectively, that's what you want. You want to have athletics people or cricket people running cricket, people that have been there, done the sport, but without any hidden agendas and their own agendas, just basically in the interest of what happens, as we say, with our test side or one-day side. What happens on the field, that's where you want the public to see the benefits and the fruits of that.
Yeah, I don't think sports worked it out. The sad thing is that we've commissioned research where we asked people just after the bonus scandal, what went wrong. And people also don't differentiate between who's the good people and who's the bad people, or what actually happened. They just know the whole thing is a mess. And I think the thing is, we've got to do our reputation management much better than we've done in the past. But I must be honest, you sometimes get the impression that some people want to be in the media. You almost, they like to be in the newspapers, they like to be controversial. So I think that culture you've got to change. We must close the doors and have our fights and leave it in the boardroom, and then let our team reflect our successes. It damages the image of sport. But somehow we've created this reporting heaven where, I actually sense that we sometimes take the issues to the media as well.
Well, I mean, that is, I think, a natural thing where, and again, it's amazing how this chat is actually echoing what we spoke to James about, because clearly if there are two different sides and there's one side not happy with another side and they're supposed to be running one of our sporting, should we say, properties in this country, if the one side's not getting their way with the other side, that's the first place they always run, is to try and discredit the other side in the media and start making allegations and things like that, which is, it doesn't do any of these sports any good. And as you say, then you can't protect the players from it. They're going to find out about it, and it affects their performance on the field.
Absolutely. Also, the media is divided on who's the right and who's wrong in this whole issue. So you might have some positive reporting in some of the media, but then there's also a counterbalance. It's sad. It's also become a bit of a culture. Information is so accessible nowadays that it becomes a powerful medium to use. So sad. I wish that's the one thing that we could change. The other thing is, I think sporting codes are under pressure to do the right thing. Otherwise, it would be reported that they're not doing so. So maybe that is a compass in itself.
Yeah. I mean, would you? I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if someone said, "Listen, you stepped in, did a good job in getting, the cricket issues sorted out, and basically getting cricket back to, an area where they can now move forward," would you look at other sports getting involved if they approached you? I know you're with the Titans now, but hypothetically.
Funny enough, I had some approaches, but for now, I'm committed to the Titans. I've applied for it, and I was up front with them. I said if I get the job, I will take it. So I'm committed to doing something there. But you don't know in the future what the future would bring. So I'm busy with further studies as well. So I might go into consulting. They seem to have less problems and make more money.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Yeah, it seems to be the way they go. There's some businesses where someone was employed there, walked out on a retrenchment package the one day and came back with a briefcase and a consultancy package the next day. So, it's the way of the modern day. So what are you hoping to do at the Titans? I mean, what is there to be done there? What are you hoping to achieve with them?
There's a lot of stability in there as an organisation, probably doing much more things correct and effectively than others. But you can only strategically react four ways. I've been told, and that is to stop things, start things, continue, and change things. And I think the continual column will be very full because they've done things over a very long time. But I would like to also add my specific skill set to their success. And I think commercially all sports are. So that will be a focus. And then on the field, they definitely got the team. They've got a feeder system that can support a successful team. So we want to be successful. Also, the brand, cricket brands aren't as strong as they should be. If you just compare them with brands to illustrate the difference, and that would be something that would definitely like to focus on, is making them a stronger brand.
Well, also, I mean, you sit with probably one of the best stadiums, facilities to be able to do that kind of thing, because I don't think there's a better cricket watching ground in the country from a point of view of trying new things and implementing all these great ideas that we discussed with you previously when you were still with CSA. Which I hope you still remember, Jacques.
Yeah.
But I mean,
which we have copyrighted.
But I mean, Supersport Park, you can do so much with, because I don't understand why more grounds don't actually get rid of some of those stands. And I think we've discussed this before, and put more grass embankments and make it more family, pleasant picnic kind of environment. And look, I know some stadium want to get, and one-day games you want to get 30,000 people in and pack it out, but realistically, cricket grounds like Supersport Park, where you've got every time you watch cricket, doesn't matter what it is, even test matches, the grass embankment's always packed.
Yeah, it's a wonderful stadium. It reminds me a bit of Poch. It's probably Poch on steroids, but the grass embankment, it's a winner. It's an absolute winner. And you got to be careful, because you're always tempted to build, but definitely the grass embankment is a winner, and it's something we've got to leverage. Yeah. The spectator-friendly stadium, I think so, and that is what we've got to use to our advantage as well, and it's also well supported. I also think we've got to create a culture of support. Cape Town's a good example. Melbourne's the other one. The saying goes that, in Melbourne they go to the opening of a front door, so it's always supported. Yes. We must create something like that in Centurion in the Pretoria area, because that gives you a huge edge to get more major events into your stadiums.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking, when people go for big meetings and stuff, and board meetings, and there's a big culture of this in the US, where all their big stadiums, I mean, most of their private boxes and suites are set up like offices. There's a boardroom in there and stuff, so a lot of people go to these stadia to have board meetings, and they'll incorporate at a time when there's a big game happening afterwards, so it becomes an experience. Business, they bring the business to that sporting experience, and that's something that we don't seem to see happening a lot here in South Africa, is where you can go into a boring closed-off boardroom or meeting room or conference room, sit around a conference table and have a meeting where you could actually do that and try and bring business back to these grounds, to expose us to more people and make it a whole experience. I mean, there's so many ways to utilize what happens around the field and bring other walks of life into it.
Definitely. I don't think we've worked out the whole stadium experience or multi-user stadiums, and the Americans seems to be a bit better than that. I just got to check on what you've got the IP right, because you come up with very good ideas. But
it's called recording.
We haven't worked it out.
Yeah.
We haven't worked it out, but it's the financial constraints will force us in that direction. I promise you, already started becoming a huge issue, and the maintenance and sustainability of stadiums. We've called for a national stadium plan, and if you want us to maintain and make your stadiums at least break even, you'll have to be very innovative going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's got to come down to good ideas where you're getting cricket lovers going to the stadium and watching the game, as opposed to TV do a great job. They expose the sport. You can't change that, but there are ways of getting people to experience it, because I mean, it's a wonderful sport played in a beautiful climate, and you could combine all of them, and I think I look forward to seeing you developing things at the Titans, not only with the great brand that they've got as well, but also at that stadium as well. Jacques, we appreciate your time chatting to us while you were at CSA, and we look forward to chatting to you again down the line while you're with the Titans. Thanks very much for your time this afternoon. Good luck.
Always well.
Go well, Jacques.
Thanks, Jacques. Cheers, man. Bye-bye. Jacques Faul. Bye-bye. There we go. He's just he seems like the kind of guy that you'd go to go, okay, look, come sort this out. He seems like there's no hidden agendas.
Nah. Feet firmly on the ground.
Knows what business.
Knows what needs to be done.
Exactly. Knows what goes on in business and just does it. Very, very nice guy.
This is Ballz Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Ballz.co.za